Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of season 5 of the Run to Remember Memorial Marathon podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Fairs, joined alongside race director Carrie Watkins. In this week's episode, you'll hear some fun conversations with a number of local people making big impacts. First, meet Jason Gallagher, a 2-time half marathoner, writer, producer, Emmy-winning director who works with NBA legends right here in OKC. Next, you'll hear from Brooke Coe with Expand Energy, the Memorial Marathon's cheer and entertainment sponsor. And finally, you'll meet Lisa Ashford, who has run and been involved in the Memorial Marathon and Kids Marathon in more ways than one. The 2026 OKC Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 24th through the 26th. Visit okcmarathon.com and sign up to run, walk, or volunteer. All right, Carrie.
Less than 100 days.
Less than 100 days.
Down to double digits to marathon
It's
weekend.
exciting. So. It's very exciting.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's coming fast. You feel like you just creep along and then all of a sudden we're in full gear.
Here we go. And you and I both know that this time is going to go rapid
so fast.
Training
run was great.
It was great.
Everyone got to meet Jenny Simpson. What a star.
Yeah.
Her parents live in Stillwater. Go figure. Isn't that crazy?
Exactly. From
Oklahoma. If you didn't catch it, go back and listen to
episode 2.
Yep, and hear what Jenny has to say.
Hear what she had to say.
Yep.
Well, we've got a good episode in store for us today. First, we're going to start with Jason Gallagher, who has run the Memorial Half Marathon twice and has a really cool story to share with us. So, Jason, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you wound up in OKC.
So I am a writer and a director and producer of all sorts of things. I would say primarily sports podcasts.
No pressure here.
Yeah.
You're just not telling me this.
I'm not judging anything because I've worked under way worse conditions. So, no, but we moved here, my family and I, we moved here in 2020, kind of out of the blue. My wife's from Kansas. My family's from Dallas, and we moved here from LA to just sort of get out, get a little space. We thought it was going to be temporary, and it wound up being a permanent situation for us. So
you're an Okie. You love it.
I love it. I did not think I would love it, but I fell in love with it, and then.
What'd you fall in love with? Like, what made you thought this was temporary, but now here you are?
Yeah, I think there's a perception maybe of Oklahoma, an unfair sometimes, assumption. And when we moved here, it was almost immediately gone. The people have been great. My son loves it here. The basketball is not too bad.
No,
we'll take it.
We'll take it. And so, it seemed like an easy thing. And traveling from here is actually quite easy. The airport, I feel like you can show up like 10 minutes before a flight and be just fine.
Don't tell anybody that.
Yeah.
I know. You found kind of some of Oklahoma's best kept secrets.
Yeah, sorry.
Try not to
so you're a great storyteller. You work with some of the greats,
Yeah.
LeBron, J.J. Redick, some other guys. We feel a little pressure here, but and we'll take your critique later. But what made you get into the storytelling business and how you share people's stories and make them so relatable to so many people?
Yeah, I think honestly, I did. I initially started at Second City in Chicago, which is an improv comedy place. I almost immediately started an on-stage production company because I love providing a level of escapism for people, and I've sort of naturally, through relationships, drifted into this sports category because I think sports is honestly incredible. I think there's these guys putting their skill out there night after night, their vulnerability out there, and I think it's borderline Shakespearean in my eyes. So I fell in love with the idea of like, how do you tell these guys' stories, the story of basketball and stuff like that, even more. And it's worked out that it coincided with athletes wanting to get out there and share their stories more. So I think it was just sort of a perfect timing kind of thing. And yeah, I love it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then so this kind of overlaps. You're working with these athletes who are obviously very talented and very into fitness and taking care of themselves. And so what have you learned from them? Because you're a runner also. So how does that kind of translate into what you've learned in your own personal running journey?
Yeah, I think honestly for so many of them, especially the greats that I work with, they almost all repeat this idea of falling in love with the process rather than the results. And I've not only put that into my sort of running journey, but I've applied that to a lot of areas of my life. That you kind of can't really help, the end result. I just had a documentary that premiered on Amazon Prime, and so many people have asked, like, do you know the performance? And I've specifically asked to not hear the performance. I loved the process of making it. I loved the process of distributing it and showing it to my friends and family, but I can't really help what the end result is. And so if you fall in love with that process, I think that there's then a trust that the end result will be hopefully what you want it to be.
I love that.
Isn't that
Yeah.
incredible?
Yeah, I really
It really
love
does
that.
relate to running,
Sure.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get into running?
So I ran competitively in high school. Competitively, I mean, I was not given the gifts of an athlete, I would say, but I did run competitively in high school. I've always loved it. Always been a natural runner, and so. Yeah, I loved it, and I kind of stopped running for about a decade, and then moving back here, I got way more into it. Honestly, it was a way to clear my mind at first, and then year after year, I've sort of taken it more and more seriously. So,
So you've run the marathon,
Yeah.
half marathon twice. Tell us about your experience there.
Yeah, so year one was rough because I was just really winging it, and I got a calf strain at like mile 5, thought it was a cramp. Afterwards, the doctor said, you probably shouldn't have finished, but I did finish. I want that on the record.
Good.
I did finish, couldn't walk for like 2 weeks, but it was fine. The second year was like, okay, the goal is to finish and have a good time and not feel terrible afterwards. And so the second year was awesome. This year, I actually have like timed goals and things like that I'm going for. So, yeah, if any given day, you might see me just running around the city, just trying to prepare to hopefully get a decent time.
Do you have a favorite part of the course?
So we run in my neighborhood, actually. That's probably my favorite, just because I
All
live
your
in
neighbors are
You
out.
see familiar faces.
I live in Edgemere, and so I love running through there. It's a particularly wild part where they're
It
trying
is
to offer
wild.
you
mimosas.
mimosas.
You need to be really careful when you grab a drink in Edgemere
Yes.
to make sure that you know what you're drinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You think it's water, it's like tequila soda or something. So, but I love running through there, and I also love running through Mesta Park, and I see a lot of my friends there, so it's a good time.
So what is the energy of the Memorial Marathon that you love the most? I mean, like, you talked a little bit about just the energy of the finish line and the course. What was it that brought it all back to why we run this race?
I think it's just really cool for people to come together and celebrate something and celebrate activity and community and life. And I do find it to be probably one of my favorite days of the year. It feels like a holiday, like a local holiday in town, and just to see the whole town come together, it's really cool. Afterwards, our neighbors throw a big old party, and I mean, the whole day, it just feels like you blink and it's already 5 p.m. and you're like, what happened?
Right.
So I love the whole day. I love after the fact. It's so fun. When I finish the half, I immediately go to Mesta Park and what they call Rainbow Road there, which is sort of what they've like decked it all out, and cheer on the full marathoners. So it's cool. I love it.
It is incredible how the neighborhoods get into it, and they feed off the runners, and so
Yeah.
it's fun to hear both perspectives.
Well, it's fun. You get to do both. You get
Yeah.
to run.
Oh, I do
then
both,
You go
yeah.
and go out and cheer.
Yeah, it's super fun. I love
Jason,
it.
what I love is that you're not from here. This is one of my favorite things, when people aren't from here, but they come and they realize what a special city we have and kind of some of these fun traditions. And I've said for years
It's a great Chamber of Commerce story.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. And I've said for years that I think that the marathon weekend is just a highlight of
Yeah.
our city. And to hear somebody from outside kind of
Right.
experience that, and it's, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, everything from even the expo before, just seeing so many people come. And the expo's it's always a reminder of like how many people are actually doing this.
I know.
Because you can't find any parking, but then you do, and you go in, the energy's just so high. That expo's dangerous because I spend a lot of money there.
Yeah, that's good. What advice do you have for someone running this race for the first time?
I'd say try to enjoy it the first time. Get familiar with the course. I mean, the Gorilla Hill it kills me every time. Every time the rest of the race, I'm like, gosh, I need to get better at hills, which I am training for. So, but no, it's I would say the first time, just enjoy it, because the energy itself is just a rush. It's so fun, and like I said, you sort of, if you fall in love with the process of it all, especially that first time, you'll just be happy that you finished it. And again, there's so many people cheering at the end that you feel like you won the thing, even though I definitely have never come close.
Well, Jason's got also another great connection. His uncle, Patrick, was our original museum designer, came back 10
Really?
years later, helped us redesign it, and is
Wow.
back now for Forward. And there's a lot of eerie similarities between the two, just their storytelling, their personalities. So it's a
Very
funny
cool.
way how the worlds collide. But
Yeah.
anyway, good guy, great storyteller. You'll see some of his work that we've had him help us with on some Journey of Hope as we tour around Oklahoma. And so we're glad to have you in Oklahoma City and glad to have you running and to remember. That's great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love it.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
Very cool.
In a small world.
That is a small world.
Yeah,
And
so-
a good reminder to
Yeah.
fall in love with the process.
That's
And that's
right.
a really important reminder when you're doing marathon training, because sometimes the process is
The process is always
to love.
the process is always the hardest part, but it gives you the results one way or the other, and so
Yeah.
you got to love the process.
Yeah, I love that.
So-
Love that advice.
I do too.
All right, next up we have Brooke Coe from Expand Energy. She's here to bring the fun.
Thank
Tell us-
God.
yeah. Tell us about her
I don't know.
company's
That must be a
important
hard act to follow.
Well, thank you for being here and for what you guys are doing and for
thank
helping
you.
us cheer the runners on along the course. I will say, you guys, race registrations are way up, like 32%
Wow.
ahead of where we were last year.
Awesome.
And so we think we could reach upper 20s, if the numbers keep continuing. So bring out the fun and the gear because we have a lot of runners to cheer on.
That's awesome. We will do it.
Good.
Do
So
it.
Brooke, tell us about Expand for people who aren't familiar with it.
Sure. So Expand was formed from the merger of Chesapeake Energy and Southwestern in 2024. And we are now North America's largest natural gas producer. And we have operations in Louisiana, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, but we are proudly still headquartered here. And so being a part of this community is huge to us and something we love.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and you guys do a lot in the community, that's for sure.
What made you guys become the cheer sponsor of the marathon?
Probably because...
Cheer and entertainment, I'm sorry.
Yes, cheer and
Don't
entertainment.
forget the entertainment.
Yeah, that's very important.
It is. It is. I would say, as a company, I think we've been involved since probably the beginning at some type of level: sponsorship, annual water stop, runners, volunteers, et cetera.
Running through your campus.
Running through the campus, yes, it's one of our favorite things. And so we just think we love it. We love the energy. Our employees love volunteering. The people who do, they just don't miss a year, and they love it. So we just thought it was a perfect sponsorship for us. We think it's such an important part that makes the day so special.
Well, it does. And I mean, you hear people say that that's something that sets apart Oklahoma City from other marathons is the course support. So
Yes.
It is, it
So
is
you've got
very important.
all the people celebrating, cheering them on, all the bands, music. They underwrite all that, and that makes it possible. And
It
so,
does.
thank you guys first of all for doing that, and just the energy that adds to the 26.2 miles.
Well, thank you. You're welcome. It's fun part to be a part of.
Can you give us a sneak peek of what runners can expect this year?
So I have to say, Expand Energy is moving into a new building on the east side of campus this spring.
Are you gonna be there by April?
We think so.
Oh wow,
We think so. Fingers crossed. So
it's looking good.
It is. Thank you. We're really excited about it. And so with that has come a lot of like brainstorming and fresh ideas for the building and our culture. And so along with that, we've been kind of doing the same thing for how it will look for the marathon. So I can't share details yet, but I can promise you we're gonna have some loud music. We're gonna have some high energy, and our volunteers will be there and be dialed in.
That's incredible. That's great. So as you make your way back, you're kind of at the corner now,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Your new building will be at the corner as we turn left, as we turn north.
We used to get people kind of like going up that hill.
Right.
And you don't realize it's a hill.
It is.
Until
it is.
they're running it.
There's a lot
Jason
of
on
places
the-
in Oklahoma City
yeah.
you don't realize are a
Yes.
hill until you're out running.
Yes,
Right.
that is absolutely true. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I drive this every day, and now I'm watching someone run up it. So yes, we'll kind of be at the top of that this year.
From your perspective, how do events like the Memorial Marathon bring our community together, and what's the most meaningful part of that?
Yeah, so I would say the day of is really special. So our water stop is a couple miles from the start, obviously, and But even being there, we get started as the sun is rising, and as we anticipate the first runner, you can just feel the energy, and it's really cool, and it's kind of emotional. I mean, it's
So the
pretty cool.
bikes come with the wheelchairs,
Yes.
and then you start knowing the runners are on their way, and
Absolutely. The police come, news
Right.
come, mayor, et cetera. And it's just such a cool experience. And so just seeing everybody, the city, just like Jason was saying, you've got neighborhoods, companies, families, individuals, churches, synagogues, everyone coming together on that one day is really, really cool. So I love that. And then I would also say just what you guys do throughout the year is so important and so special. I've been able to participate in a lot of those events. And you guys go out throughout the state and throughout the city, just really encouraging that, encouraging people to serve and to make it a better place. And so I love that. So it goes beyond just that day, but then that day is obviously so special.
service, honor, kindness. It really is kind of inherent of all we're trying to do, and we can't do it without partners like you. So thank you guys very much. We're glad to have you, and thanks for just letting us kind of take over the campus and close roads. And they're so good. When they started their new project, they're like, guys, we're going to close this road, so we got to figure out. But they were so great to help us kind of
Proactive about-
proactively
yep.
rethink that, and I just can't say enough. It wasn't like the weekend before; it was like a year before. So thank you for that.
Well, and I think,
absolutely.
Brooke, it's just a good reminder that I think a lot of times people hear there's a marathon, and unless you're running, you can't be involved. But you just remind us that there's so many ways to be involved, even if you're not a runner, whether you're at a
Yes.
water stop, maybe it's a band that you're in that can play music, or just there's a
just
place
along
for,
the course,
along the
cheering
course,
people
there's
on.
a place for everybody to be plugged in.
Right.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
I absolutely agree. If you haven't volunteered, I really highly encourage everyone to do it, because it's you just feel you're proud to be part of the city, especially on that day, and proud to be part of the event that brings so many people together.
Yeah,
So it's
and
really
the
cool.
volunteers are the backbone. We couldn't do this without
No.
volunteers, so we're really grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks. It's really great, just all that they do, and so many companies that pitch in to make this race work, but the cheering and the entertainment
Yeah.
are what sets this race apart.
Well, yeah, it's the course support, it's the energy along the way. That's what keeps you going.
Yeah.
There's not ever a point in our race where you wonder, like, am I on the right road?
That's good. That's very good.
Yep.
Although we've had a few kind of go off
Well,
weird places, but that's a whole nother story
That
for another
is for another
podcast.
day. Before we speak to our final guest, let's hear a quick message from the Inasmuch Foundation. This dedicated team has given back to our community in so many ways, and we are grateful they are our Why We Run Weekend Series sponsor.
Hi, I'm Bob Ross with Inasmuch Foundation. Congratulations, runners. You've trained hard, and now it's time to run. Time to remember and embrace our bright future. As part of the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon, you symbolize strength, peace, and hope. We invite you to visit the Memorial Museum and experience the story of why we run. You'll be changed forever. Inasmuch Foundation is honored to partner with the Memorial Marathon. Thank you, runners and volunteers who make this a run to remember.
Our next guest has been involved with the Memorial Marathon in more ways than one. Please welcome Lisa Ashford.
Thank you.
Lisa, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
So your husband worked just a block from the Murrah building on
He
April
did.
19th, 1995, which is pretty unbelievable.
Yes.
So how did that kind of shape your family's connection with the Memorial
Well, I
Memorial
think
Marathon?
just so that morning I was at home walking. We weren't quite married yet. But I felt it in Southeast Edmond, heard it, and I was like, what is that? And so my mom was home, and I went. I was like, did you hear? Anyways, turn on the news. And my husband called, and he was like, something hit my building. I'm fine. And I was like, wait, I felt it too. Like, what was that? So that kind of was our first, something big happened. And like I said, the news had started running coverage. And
Helicopter shot,
yeah.
channeling helicopter
Yeah.
shot, first thing you saw.
so I think just knowing being there from the beginning, I think it's, as an Oklahoman, it's important that we support the memorial and the marathon.
And you've run the full, the half.
Yeah.
You ran the relay before we
Yeah.
changed it out to the quarter. And so you've participated in the helped the kids. What's your favorite part of, or what was your favorite race?
So, I mean, personally, like pushing myself to run that full, it takes a lot of time. And there are days where you're like, why am I doing this? And then you remember why I'm doing it. But now, like when my kids cross the finish line, when my students cross the finish line and they get that medal, and then we all wear them to school on Monday.
Medal Monday.
Oh, yeah. That's, and they're like, look what I did this weekend. And so just seeing their pride in what they've accomplished, it just makes my teacher heart happy.
So you helped organize Frontier Elementary.
I did.
And tell us what goes into that on behalf of the teachers' part.
So we just sign up, we make a group, and then our kids start signing up, and parents email me. We've got 4 runners in the family or whatever, and then we do a running club at school. So we meet twice a week before school, and the kids can come in and get their mile in before school. Some of them sprint, and so they get 2 miles in. So we do that, and then I, come pick up all the packets, and at Frontier, we do a packet pickup with the kids, and our school has bags for them, and we add a few little extra, water bottles, something like that. And then we meet for race day, and they sprint. Some of the parents are like, I didn't realize I was going to have to pick up my training because they're sprinting.
Yeah.
And then, we celebrate them on Medal Monday, and it's just, they love it. So.
How do you talk to your kids, your students, about why this race is so important and the meaning behind it?
I kind of approach it at someone was just very angry and didn't have a trusted adult that they could talk to about how angry they were. And that, sometimes when you're angry, you make bad choices and you hurt others. And then we talk about how, there's all these people here to celebrate and to honor those that have passed away. And
Celebrate the lives.
Just celebrate them. And then we talk about how, from the yuck, the bad stuff, you can find positive and you can find light. And so look for the helpers and look for those people who are encouraging others and those who are trying to lift each other up. And then sometimes I say, you know what, you might have to be that person. You might have to be the one that says, okay, guys, this is some yuck. How can we make some good?
So and you helped write the curriculum.
I did.
Can you tell us about that a little
So that was kind of, it was a fun experience. It was, a lot of work, but it was fun. But just trying to write lessons where you could convey what happened. You could tell it, for an elementary school child who, how to change the language so that they understand what happened. And then, coming up with the activities and the discussion, on this lap, talk about this, or on this lap, talk about this. So it was a fun process. It taught me a lot about myself, changed some things that I do in my teaching. So
for over a decade, the students from Frontier have been coming to run. How many did you start with, and what are your numbers now?
So, gosh, the first time we did it, I think we had maybe 10. This last time, I want to say we had almost 25. So, but the moving it to Saturday, a lot of our kids play sports on Saturdays. So, but then a lot of them are like, well, my mom usually runs on Sunday, so my dad couldn't get me there on Sunday, but now I can do Saturday. Right. So,
yeah, it's a little bit of give and take.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but they always are so excited. The parents love it. Sometimes that first time as a parent, you're like, wait, I just send them off, and I'm like, trust me, they're not going to get lost.
Oh my gosh,
it's amazing.
We do. Yeah, the safety net runners and the tags.
So, I mean,
Kelly and
so well
Aaliyah
done.
run a tight ship, and
Yes.
they're making sure that they don't just pass a kid off to anyone.
Right.
So one time my own kids, I couldn't get my own kids. I had to go find my husband to get the tag.
Get the tag,
Like,
right.
seriously, they're my kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was pouring down rain. It was lovely. But
Yeah.
they weren't breaking the rules for anyone. So I appreciate that, actually.
Right.
And so you bring kids down, and you've seen it evolve. What is it about the race that's special to you, and how do you see it moving forward?
For the kids marathon, I love that it gets, sometimes parents are really busy, and it gives them something that they can do with their child.
It's a great point.
the whole family's moving.
Right.
And so I've seen families where the child started with us running at school, and then now the parents are doing it. Now the parents are doing the 5K. Now the parents are doing the half, the full. So I like that it's getting our families active. And then just reminding them about the destruction that happened, but then the beauty and the celebration that's come after it.
That's a great point. Have you seen any of your kids that start with the kids who have gone on to run other races?
I've got several who are like running cross country for the high schools in Edmond, and so that's kind of fun. And they're always like, it's because of
started.
you and
Spark
running
the
club.
bug.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
That's
start them
incredible.
early.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. Well, I think it's fun to hear from the classroom, just even 31 years later, how the story can still be taught in a way that engages kids to understand it in a
Right.
meaningful way.
Right.
And as horrible as it was, to show when people work together, good can come out of it.
Yeah. I think that has to be the focus.
And I think the race is it's a good opportunity for whether it's in school or at your own home, just to teach your kids about the story.
Yeah, and talk about it.
Yeah.
I think in this world, we're seeing, we're in the midst of this forward project, and you just see so much anti-government, hate the government, hate Congress, hate this, hate that, and really it's all us. And so we have a role in both the classrooms and homes to figure out how to. It's not about hating; it's about working together and figuring out the hard stuff. And that's a little bit about the marathon journey too. Is there's nothing really easy about it. You got to put the work in to get the good, and so it's all about the race.
And try to come up with a solution.
All right.
And, if you see a problem, how are you helping to create a
helper.
solution?
Yeah.
Be the helper.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good reminder.
It is. Lots of good reminders today,
Yes, it
Carrie.
really is.
Yeah.
Process.
I know. I think I'm going to carry that with me for
Yes.
a very long time.
That's
Fall in
good.
love with the process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for joining us for episode 3 of season 5 of the Run to Remember podcast. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Let us know your questions and tell us your running story at okcmarathon.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. The Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 24th through the 26th, and if you haven't already, sign up today at okcmarathon.com. This is your host, Kristen Fairs. Let's marathon.
It's a game